All right, this next project has to do with steganography, and I have a PowerPoint presentation here we're going to walk through, and then we're going to demo some tools for you. If I can get... Oh, it's great they got it on one screen. Okay. All right, steganography and digital watermarking. This is kind of a short presentation here, okay? We're going to talk about what it is, how it works, what the differences are between the two, and we'll go from there. Steganography came from stegonos and graphene, basically to hide and to write. It's basically hiding stuff, okay? Most dictionaries think it's cryptography. It's really scramble a message is what we're doing, okay? And steganography is to conceal the message, okay? Way back when, a bunch of different ways it was done. They would tattoo messages on the slave's head, let his hair grow back, send him where he's going, shave his head, and get the message across that way. They wrote it on silk, they covered it in wax, then swallowed it. The dotted letters on covered text, and you actually see a picture of that, I think, in a sign. But yeah, there's a bunch of different things that are done to get secret messages across. Okay. How about it says every other letter of every other word, or sketching letters across words. There's just a bunch of stuff you could do to hide stuff. They banned printing. They banned prohibited books. They banned all kinds of stuff because they thought people were sending messages across. I'm assuming you all watch magic shows. Anyone ever seen David Copperfield? Yeah. Okay. Well, I went to Vegas a couple years ago, and I was in the audience, way in the back, cheap seats. And they were passing these huge rubber balls around. They throw them around the audience, and I caught one, and they let me go on stage. So I was on the act where we all get in this big cage, and they basically throw a tarp over us. And then, a bunch of stuff happens, and the next thing you know, we all appear behind everybody in the audience. So do you really think it was magic and we... No. I'll let you know exactly. It was kind of cool, because when it got done, we actually got to go back there and actually meet David Copperfield and shake his hand and got an autographed picture and said, don't tell anybody about this because it took 2 years to make this. But, it's been out for a couple years now. But the way it worked was we all got into this box. Because when I went up there, they says, do you know David Copperfield? I'm like, no. Can you run? I said, yes. Okay, that's all you had to know. But they put us in this box, and what they did is they made, they gave us flashlights. So we're all sitting there with our flashlights. And they made one guy stick his arm out so you could see that there's an arm with the flashlight. Well, as soon as they put the tarp over it, they bring a ramp up to the back. And they have a couple guys crawl up on the ramp, and they stick their arms out the side, and they have all of us run back through the ramp. Go outside the MGM Grand, back in through the kitchen to this holding area. And then, he's doing his thing, making all kinds of noise. And then we all have our flashlights, and our flashlights are turned off, so then they usher us into the very back of the audience. And then as soon as he opens the thing, we all turn the lights on, and whoa, we appeared there. So the point was, is it really magic? No, it was an illusion. But it was kind of cool. But that's the way it's been throughout the years. Is there really such thing as magic? Is there such thing as ghosts? I don't know. But a lot of times, they really got crazy about it years ago. Okay? All right. How about this? See the letter E and the letter N? You see how they're written differently? It says here, one Francis Bacon's own examples in his ciphertext in which the plain text flee is concealed under the cover text, stay until I come and get you. He would just write the letters differently. Now today that's impossible, because no one can actually write anymore. But if you could, you'll notice the differences in the E's, and depending on which way it's written, you read different ones. So it was, again, a way of concealing a message inside of another message. Okay? And if you haven't seen it yet, there's a movie, Imitation Game. Excellent movie. Wow. I saw no previews for it. I just saw one the day before, and I'm like, wow, and it was amazing. It was all about the Enigma machine, I guess. Yes. So if you get a chance, you need to watch that. It's all about the stuff we talk about in computer security. Okay. Some examples. It says they basically banned chess games. Banned blank paper. Banned X's and zeros, microdots, invisible inks, stamps, list of grades. Because they thought people were getting messages across. Pretty crazy stuff, okay? The ultimate example, they took the Nobel Medal of Honor, melted them down in Agra Regia. Got them out that way. Got the gold out that way. So pretty crazy stuff on what some people have done to conceal things. And we've never seen Easter eggs in software. Some of you have, well, I know some of you are young, might never see. But they used to be in all kinds of software. And it was like in Excel. I got hired to teach an Excel 97 class. It was actually an advanced Excel class. I had never taught Excel before, but I used it a lot. So, well, they hired me at Gordon Cooper to teach this advanced Excel class. So what do you do? I mean, they didn't give me any resources. They just said, teach it. So Excel 97 actually had an Easter egg in it that if you went to a certain cell and put in a certain value, it turned into a 3D flight simulator. It was awesome. And I did that first thing we did in class, and that's it. I had them from that point on. They were like, you're so amazing. How do you do that? Yeah, whatever. It's just an Easter egg built into software. But I actually worked at the software development flight on Tinker for a while, and they were basically writing the software to run the command post. And the people that were doing it actually embedded an Easter egg in it. But it was like stupid. It's like, hold down the shift key and the E and the A and double click the icon on the right and hit the minus key. And no, it's like it's never going to happen. But supposedly, Office 2010 and beyond, there's no more Easter eggs. That's what they say. I don't know that for a fact, but you know, it could be. All right, computer science. We no longer need physical stuff. Now we can do it electronically. Okay? Best known is hiding stuff in pictures. Trojan horse, the Easter eggs, and that's what we're going to do in this project. Okay? A couple different methods. Substitution. We could replace certain things with cover data. Okay? We could inject things over top of other things. We could generate cover text on top. There's just a lot of different things you can do to make it happen. Remember we talked about the little endians, you know, least significant bit. You can't see the difference in, you know how color, you can barely change it. Sometimes computers can detect it, but humans can't. That's what they're talking about here. Change the least significant bit. Does it really matter? No. Okay. When I was in University of Tulsa, I had to come up with some sort of covert channel thing. Mine was pretty stupid, but you basically would enter a message. I ran an ISP at the time, so I had access to web servers everywhere. So you'd go to this website, enter a message, and it would randomly create a file listing of file names, and whether they were uppercase or lowercase was the ones and zeros. So if there was an uppercase letter, it would be a 1. If it was a lowercase letter, it would be a 0, and you could embed whatever you want. Type a big old message, and it would create all these files, and the names would basically represent the ones and zeros. Not the best example, but it's kind of what it was. So kind of cool stuff out there. Okay. Okay, here's an example. He's putting them in there. All right. Here's one. They actually take this, whatever, this building and hide it inside of the flower. You can't see it, but it does actually change it slightly. You can't see it with your eyes, so don't even bother trying. Now we'll put these slides over there if you want to go back and look at it later. Other ways, you can embed stuff in waves, you can embed stuff in MP3s, EXEs, TCP headers. A prime example is TCP4. Hopefully some of you know what IP version 4 is. Okay. There's a lot of stuff in the header like the urgent flag.
What's not P?
What's U/P? Some people didn't know that. But okay, so we have an urgent flag. We have a don't fragment flag. Are those really needed anymore? Not really. They're not really needed anymore. So you could actually embed data in there. You get to the other end and read it. So there's a lot of different things you can do it. Assembly language, just lots of ways. I don't think, actually snow might still work. Let's try snow. No guarantees here. It worked at one point, but then it quit working. No, we don't have the applet on here. Great. Let's try the web page without it. Now I'd have to download it, but what it does was, y'all know how web pages work? Well, if you don't know how web pages work, if you type a word and then put a space and then another word, you get a word with space between it. But what happens if you put 20 spaces between a word? Nothing. It still shows only one space. Now, if you put an unbreakable space, it will show more spaces. But with HTML, it only puts one space between words. So Snow, if you actually install the Java applet for it, can actually embed stuff based on white space. Kind of cool. It's not required for your assignments. I did in the past use it on a project, but I actually used this one. This one's great. You like this one? Okay. Let me show you this one. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to encode a message. Okay. Okay. This is top secret. Some of you in the front can verify that's what it says. So I'm going to encode it. There we go. So now it's generated. Dear friend, thank you for your interest in our publication. If you no longer wish to receive blah, 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 it basically made spam out of it. So I can now send this to somebody. Now I'm going to copy this message. So I'm just doing Control-C to copy it. Now I'm going to decode it. And it comes back to this is a secret message. I'm going to go back. Now in here, I'm going to go right here and replace the and with the word and. That's all I did. Now I'm going to decode it, and I got gibberish. Okay, so let's go back again. I'm going to paste in what I originally had. You'll see now we have the and sign again. You see that right there? Let's decode that. Now we get our message again. Let's just try changing one little thing. I'm going to get rid of that space right there. One space is all I'm removing. Totally killed it. So I could actually send a message. And what I did years ago was I actually, for the final exam, I generated one of these and emailed it to all the students. Do whatever you want. It's all the test was. And I had students reply back, please unsubscribe me from your list. And it's like, you just pushed and pasted it in here and it told you it was something like email Ken, I got an A or something, whatever it was. But kind of cool. So that's spam mimic. Okay. All right, but there's a lot of different things. I mean, even art packets. There's, art packets have a lot of junk in them. I don't know if you ever looked at an art packet, but it actually has a lot at the end. And even a ping packet, if you look at it, it actually sends the alphabet across. So, all right. Okay, so Stegonalysis is the process of analyzing, basically erasing, decoding, detecting. Okay? Now you saw erasing is pretty simple. You modify it whatsoever, what happens to it?
Goodbye.
We removed one space and we killed it. So, okay. Erasing is easy. Change one little bit, you're good. Okay. Decoding is the hardest. Hitting is usually encrypted and normally has some sort of password, which you guys are going to work on in this project. Okay. Detection is the most important. You want to be able to find it. Okay. It says, this is knowing you have a covert channel is significant. Basically, if you know someone's transferring data, you need to figure it out, what they're doing. Okay. And child pornography is a good one. When I was up at University of Tulsa, we had the cybercrimes unit come in and talk to us, and they had a known child pornographer. They captured him, analyzed all his computers, nothing, no child porn whatsoever. So the cybercrime people went in there and started looking, and they had a whole bunch of CDs of golf courses. He was an avid golfer. He had all these pictures of all these golf courses. Well, it turns out every one of them had pornography embedded in it. Pretty scary stuff, okay? This is from a website called Intel Gymnast. Bart Connors runs it. I used to host it. That's where I got all these pictures from. But now let's talk about watermarking. Okay, can you see the picture? But you see anything in the middle of the picture? See, it says gymnast across the middle of it. So the picture's still there, but we're kind of putting our signature on. You ever get those prom pictures from when your kids go to school, or you have a picture taken somewhere, and they'll give it to you, it's kind of grainy, kind of looks crappy, but if you pay for it, you get the good quality. I think Rose Graduation even does that. That's watermarking. Okay? It says, tries to provide confidentiality. You know this picture came from Intel Gymnast. The way their site works is you can download any picture you want for free. But if you want them to use in an article, in a magazine or something, at that point you pay for it. Makes sense. A lot of places. Getty Images is a real big one that does that for news media now. Okay. So a lot of places do it. Okay. the goals, do not impair it. Now, I would say that kind of is impaired a little. I mean, sometimes you look at, school pictures, they're impaired to the point where, is that really my kid? They're impaired quite a bit. But really, you don't want to impair it much. It's hard to remove it. I mean, if you look at that, that'd be very hard to get rid of. Take a lot, well, I don't know. So, did y'all see the Photoshop of the model in a red bikini, but it was actually pizza? If you haven't seen this one, look for the video. It's like Photoshop example of pizza. They actually take a piece of pizza and Photoshop it into a lady in a bikini. I said, we got to find this. Hold on. We got to show you this. Okay, there we go. Then we're going to watch it quickly. So, isn't that amazing? I actually took a piece of pizza and made it into a girl in a bikini. It's like, you can do anything with Photoshop. So one point is, yeah, you could probably fix it with Photoshop. I couldn't, but I'm assuming somebody could. But someone, don't tell me the first time someone had seen that before.
I've seen it before.
Okay. I'm not the only weird person. But it's, all right, let's continue on. All right, goals. Okay, we already talked about that. Characteristics, different ones. Steganography, you want to put as much data as possible. Watermarking, we really don't want to put a lot of data. We want to just put something so we can tell it's ours. Easy removal. Steganography, very hard. Digital watermark, very hard as well. So there's a lot of, the characteristics, it's not important you know those. It's just kind of cool. Like current use of steganography to espionage, stuff like that. Watermarking is copyrights, okay? You can go to Stego Archive, and there's a lot of tools out there. The ones I'm going to show you are not great. They will crash, but they do work. And there's actually one up there on SourceForge, which Roy downloaded yesterday at home. We went to download it today, and SourceForge was down for almost the entire day, which has never happened before. So there is a decent one. I was going to try to use it for this project, but we couldn't get it all day. Okay? We're going to demonstrate these tools and show you how they work. How about this? This is in 2002. Lately, Al-Qaeda operatives have been sending hundreds of encrypted messages that have been hidden in files up on eBay. Isn't that amazing? The volume of messages has nearly doubled, and they think they're sending an attack. Okay. This was an actual picture. This picture is no longer there, but I posted this up there. What eBay did to solve that problem, so this is a picture of a Camaro. Think about it. If I was to get a secret message to you, put in a picture of Camaro, post it on eBay, just tell you, hey, 2008 Camaro. You download the picture, you get the message. What eBay did at that point was, you see in the bottom right-hand corner, you see the little picture of a camera? What they did is they started basically putting a watermark in every picture that went up on eBay. And we know that by modifying it in any way, what happens to the data? It's gone. So that's why a lot of those places, when you upload your picture, they alter it slightly. Very, very, a lot of them now just change one pixel. Because they know that's all you have to. So, kind of cool stuff, okay?
I just have one question. Why did eBay have a problem with people passing information? How did they catch wind of that?
I have no idea.
They probably found someone to work.
It was Go Ask USA Today in 2002. There's an article, and they might tell you more about it. But, no, I don't know. Okay, says authorities are also investigating information for detainees such as Al-Qaeda members or possibly even bin Laden or hiding messages inside pornography. Now, if I remember right, if they see pornography, don't they have to kill themselves?
I don't know.
Isn't that what the Muslim religion is? I thought it was. So
Something like that.
So I don't know. Okay. So basically, kind of a cool tool. We're going to play with it, and there's a lot of web links on here if you want to read them, and I will put the slides up there for you. Okay. All right. Now let's show you how this whole stuff works. Okay. Now, I've already installed the tools. There's two of them we're going to use. We're going to use Wget, and we're going to use Stego tools. Okay. Now, Stego tools. There's instructions in the PDFs right here. but I also give you the usage file. I tell you exactly how to use them. If you use them like I'm telling you, they will function for the project. Okay? If you do them other ways, I can't guarantee anything. Okay, so what steg detect does is it detects steganography. Okay, steg break breaks it. Okay, now you really, if you think about it, detects it, then break breaks it. Why don't you just run break? Problem is break will take a lot longer. But you know, you hope to detect it and then run break against the ones that are positive. The problem is it's going to give you a lot of false positives. So run it any way you want. Okay. In the past, I had you provide me with the command you used, but I was thinking about that. They said, wait a minute, I give you the command. So I'm not going to ask you anymore. So we're going to run this. Now, I'm going to show you, it seems some people had a problem understanding this next part of the project. CMD is called command prompt. Brings up this black window. Trust me, I had calls on it today. Am I seriously? Okay. So I'm going to, now I need, if you look, I need to get into this directory right here. I need to get into this C drive in this Stego Tools directory. Now inside there you'll see there's a picture called Church with Mindy. If I type dir, I should be able to see a directory listing. I don't see Church with Mindy. Why?
You're not in Stego directory.
I'm not in the Stego directory. I'm in the users KDewey directory. I need to be in C Stego Tools. So I'm going to go CD /, that'll bring me to the root directory. I know this is, some of you are like, seriously? Trust me, some of you need it. I'm going to go CD Stego Tools. Now you'll notice the directory names match. Not that one.
It doesn't match though. I have a question.
Case does not matter.
The case is different. That's a problem.
I know, it's weird. Windows doesn't care about case. Linux, Mac, it does. Windows doesn't care.
Oh, okay.
So now if I type dir for dir, you'll see it has all those files there.
Heads up, LS doesn't work.
Yes, yes, yes. If you type ls, it'd be like, huh? Yeah. All right, now I'm going to take this command for steg detect right here, okay? I'm going to copy it with Control C. Now, the easiest way to get the command in here is go up here and do paste.
What about right-clicking?
No, I like to click the box. You got a problem with boxes?
Right-clicking.
I'm a guy.
No. All right, now I'm going to hit this, and it ran. It says, hey, Church with Mindy potentially has something hidden in it with something called JP hide. See that? And there's one asterisk. The more the asterisks, the merrier. Problem is, I know there's something in it, hence the name Church with Mindy, but only showing one asterisk. You would hope it'd show more. I will tell you that your project will show more. I verified that today, that it showed more. Okay, so we know Church with Mindy might have something in it. You will see a lot of errors about corrupt JPEG data. That's fine. Don't worry about it. It's looking for signatures. And sometimes, you know how there's a lot of, like, remember when we searched for FFD8, we found it all over? But FFD8 at the beginning of a sector, we knew it was a file and everything. So sometimes it might find a partial steg signature, but it's not complete, so it's like corrupt. Don't worry about it, that's fine. Okay? So, Church with Mindy might have something in it. Now, if I go down here into this steg detect PDF, it tells me how to run it. It tells me what all the commands are. So feel free to read about it. And the -S5 is kind of like the sensitivity. You can adjust that if you like. 5 is kind of like the mid-range. It seems to do best. So you can adjust that if you like. All right, so now I want to use steg break. What this does, we got some switches. Then it tells you to use the rules.ini file, which is actually a John the Ripper rules file, which we'll talk about next project. And then use the words dictionary and search for JPEGs. So I'll make Cameron happy. I'm going to paste. No, forget that. I'm going to use my click the box. I like it better. So much better. Okay. Now I'm going to hit enter, and you'll see it found two. Oh, wait a minute. Church with Mindy has something in it. It was encoded with JP8 or JP Hide version 5, and the password is church. Okay. Now I can hit Control C, and it'll tell you this how far along it is. I can hit Control C again. You'll see the percentage is going up. It's not just stuck there. You'll see it's going up. Now if I hit it twice, it stops. So if you want to check the process, how it's doing, Control C one time. It'll tell you the percentage. It'll actually tell you what word it's even working on. And those are dictionary words, by the way. Okay? So, but if it already broke Church with Mindy, why is it still going? Well, if you look at the directory, there's actually another file in there. There's actually a Mindy file in there. So it's trying to break that one. Yet, it's not going to because there's nothing in that one. All right, so let's look at Church with Mindy here. We're going to delete this Mindy. You're gone. Mindy's now gone. Okay, so I'm going to go to JPSH win right here. I'm going to say yes. This program will crash on you, guaranteed positively at one point or another. So I'm going to open up a JPEG, and I'm going to open up Church with Mindy right there. Now I'm going to seek, in other words, hide is you're putting something in, seek is you were looking for something. So I'm going to seek. The password is church. Okay, save the hidden file to hidden file.txt. No, I think it's a PDF. Okay.
You entered two things there.
That was the password twice. All right, so I extracted hidden file.pdf. Okay. So I'm going to open this baby up. And it didn't work. Crap. All right. I know what the problem was. It was hidden file.txt.
I don't believe that I speak that. Look at that header.
Hey guys, that's
What?
right there.
Look at it.
Anyway,
What?
that could possibly be.
Yo-yo!
What's yo-yo mean?
It's the Bitmap.
Bitmap. Okay, let's go to Bitmap. No, it's Bitmap. We heard Bitmap first.
No, have to cycle through all the files.
Revenge.
There we go. Bitmap.
Hey!
How the hell that actually worked?
That dude is a creeper.
Please tell me he's in jail. She looks like she's in distress and needs to be saved.
What if she just
He's
on a
touching
field
me.
trip?
Why are you taking a picture? He's touching me.
Now, I have no idea why photo viewer didn't care what the signature was, but it's actually a JPEG. And by the way, that is Mindy's dad,
Yeah.
in case you're wondering. So,
Bible, right?
okay, but that's Mindy, and that's her dad. And now, so we know that that was hidden inside of Church with Mindy. So let's go look at Church with Mindy. There's Church with Mindy. Here's hidden file. So, do you see Mindy anywhere up here at the church?
No.
Maybe she's at the door.
She's right there.
Maybe she's behind the tree.
I see her.
She's over here behind the
She's
cone.
in the other window.
There's a cone over there.
She's in this window.
She's in the other window.
Hello. Come out.
Right there.
That's her. No.
There it is.
Point is, you're not going to see her. Okay.
I see it right there. I see it.
Oh, she's right there with Mindy. Oh, she's right there.
There it is.
Oh, she was there the whole time, right on top of the church. She's bigger than the church, actually. She's very large. Oh, well. Okay. Everybody see how we were able to detect it, break it, and get the data out. Now we're actually going to play with this tool a little bit. Okay. So I'm going to, I need someone to tell me a theme. I need a theme of something. No, we're not doing any pirates.
Skeletons.
Fish?
Dragons.
Fish.
Skeletons.
We're doing fish.
Post-apocalyptic America.
Fish.jpg. Okay, we're going to go to images over here. And we need, how do I do large? Is the size as large or something?
You have to type in advanced search
Go
now.
to search tools. Go to search tools. Now go to size. Now go to larger than.
Larger than.
Oh, look at that now. Anything that's massive, that's what you mean.
Anything that's massive.
All right, here we go.
Megapixel.
We are looking for a large fish. All right, so which fish do you want?
The koi.
This one? Which one? This one? This one.
Nemo.
All right, we got Nemo. Okay, here, come on, Nemo. Come on, finish loading. All right, so I'm going to save the image as. All right, save as. This is Nemo.
That sounds like
N-E-M-O, isn't it? Okay. Now I need another. Actually, you know what? Forget that. We're going to use it. We are going to exit this program, bring this program back up. Then we are going to open up Nemo.
This sounds real complicated.
Now I'm going to hide. Now password's going to be church. Okay, same password in both. Now this time I'm going to hide a file in it.
Did you put that one in the church with Mindy one?
I could, possibly. Now I will tell you, the JPEG has to be quite large. The larger the JPEG, the more data it can hold. If you have a small JPEG, I mean, there's only so much data it can replace without screwing up the picture. Make sense? So I'm putting a text file in there. Now I'm going to save it. Save JPEG, okay? Sorry I had to wait to tell you this. If I may call it, yeah, whatever, we don't care. Do it anyway. Okay. So it did it. So now it crashed. It always crashes. Don't worry about it. It's okay. So now we need Nemo. Where'd Nemo go? There's Nemo. Okay, there's Nemo. Now let's run steg detect. Oh, Nemo might have something in him. He ate something.
I don't believe it.
Let's run steg break. Steg break. Loaded 3 files. Oh, Nemo's got something in him. He ate a church. So let's go in. And we're gonna go in here and we're gonna use this wonderful program again. We're going to open Nemo. Now we're gonna look for something. And we saw the password was church. And what do you think the file could be? What type of file could it be? My file.
Executable.
Okay, so we don't know what it is, so we put in myfile.jpg, and it's like, nope.
All right, we gotta check the header.
How can we check the header?
Text workshop.
Okay, I'm going to dump it right on top of Hex Workshop right here. Oh, it's a text file. Look, I can see the text.
There's no header. You can't confirm that.
All right, I'm going to confirm it right now. Let me rename this file.
Yeah, obviously it does nothing.
You work here,
All right, now it's going to open quickly. Cameron is a loser. Oh, there you go.
Invalid file name.
All right, so you saw how we're able to detect and break, embed, and also extract. There's another program that's in here. It's called Xsteg, I think. It's the graphical interface for StegRate, and it sucks. It is not worth your time. I mean, you can play with it. It's just not so wonderful. But you're welcome to play with it if you like. If you find some other tools like the one that was on SourceForge until they went down today, what's it called? Outguess? No. OpenSteg on SourceForge. That'll probably do it as well. Gary Kessler mentioned it on his page. So. But Xsteg, not my favorite program. But if you run it, you'll see it actually changes the sensitivity. Like if you want to do JPSH-Win, you want to do this, change the sensitivity, then you go in there and say File Open. Let's just open that one. Okay. So it's actually building the command for you down at the bottom. So it's really just running. I really have an issue running it. So, okay. All right. So everybody okay? Now, there's one more tool I want to talk about. All right. So I'm going to go into this other directory, the root directory. Now we have another tool in here called Wget. Kind of a cool tool. a little story about this. I've been using this in my program forever. We've been showing it off. Laura Lewis, the mayor of Moore's daughter, who went here, then went to University of Tulsa, and then went on to some agency up in D.C. She went to Tulsa and was working in the cyber lab, you know, the cyber crime division, because they have to do like an internship there. And she went up there, and y'all know what, first of all, you know what the number one crime is?
Yeah, it's porn.
Child porn. Child porn is the number one crime. So she was up there, and she went in there doing an internship, and there was a cop literally spending days on end downloading child porn. Because if there's a child porn site, they actually have to save it all. So he was going to each picture, right click, save as, file after file after file. And Laura's like, what are you doing? He's like, I've got to download this entire website. And there's thousands of images. She goes, why don't you just run Wget? He's like, what? So let me show you Wget.
You don't have to drive yourself crazy.
All right, so inside Wget, there's a directory called bin.
There's better ways.
Then there's Wget right there. So I'm going to go into Wget, into bin. Okay, don't just run Wget. It's going to be like foremost. You can be like, man, I've been running this for a week and nothing. Okay. So I'm going to Wget, and let's get a website.
Google.
Yeah, I'm going to get Google. All right, and what I did is I just downloaded Rose State.
Just download it, Rose State.
The whole page.
Oh my God.
Now, if you notice,
The whole page. That's how substantial your site is.
well, actually, let me delete these files here real quick, just so we can make sure it works. Okay, let me do it again. Let me download Rose State again. Done. Okay, we got Rose State. So now if I open Rose State's website, I get that.
That is very well.
Well,
So you see, it did download something. What it got was the main web page.
Only there was
But there's a
something-
few things missing. Y'all agree?
No.
only there was
So I don't think we got all of it. So there's a nice feature which in the past I didn't show students, but it's called -R for recursively.
recurse.
Now we're downloading the Rose website.
now you're downloading all the database.
And we're not going to download the whole website, okay, because that will take a while. So I stopped it. But now if you notice, now I have a rose.edu. If I go in here, I might have some content. Probably not yet, but you'll see it started getting it. It got some script. It's got some, whatever these are. Holy moly, jeez. So it started to download it. I just stopped it, okay? But it, what now?
Let me download.
Was there a start.txt in there? Okay. Actually, let me get a little more so maybe we can get a couple pictures. Let's let it go a little bit farther.
The whole internet.
So we're getting, trying to see what we're getting. We're getting some images now. Okay, we're getting images, so I'm going to stop it. All right, so now I'm going to go in here, and I saw some images. Oh, wow. We got an entire RSS image. Sweet! It's the image I've been wanting. But it's very simple to run this, and you'll see there's actually quite a bit in here. Oh, here's robots.txt, sitemap, rows, something else. There you go. But one thing, yeah, so we didn't get much of the website yet. But if you let it run, it will get it. And there's instructions in here. If I remember right, they're in,
I don't think you did.
wasn't there in here? I don't remember, but they're around here somewhere else. You can, I give you the link to where to download it from on the assignment. But you can specify how deep you want to go, how many levels deep. You can actually specify a YouTube file and it'll download the YouTube file. So it's kind of a cool program. So you can see, now some things have made it so they don't work quite so well with it, but some things you can get. But really cool programs, you can download entire websites.
The potential is limitless.
Yes. All right, so everybody okay on how to use the steg tools in Wget? I have verified that they are available in the classroom under software needed. They're also on your virtual machine. So whichever way you want to do it. Okay, I'm going to stop this and then we're going to talk about the assignment. All right.
So Ken, if I